Reload! Put in the mag. Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm here with Doug because a couple of weeks ago I walked into his office and this.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
I would say another one of my custom builds. This is an SSQ4 actually, and it's a Bullpup build.
It's not very recognizable anymore, I gotta say that. The color maybe gives it a bit away. It's a conversion kit, I assume?
Yeah, it only works with GBBR versions, not with HVA, because it's a two-sided ejection molded kit. It kind of wraps from left to right around.
Just sandwich it or what?
Yeah, sandwich
in the middle.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there is a connection point from the trigger from the kit that goes all the way inside down here and then to the actual trigger of the SSQ4. And it only works with a curved classic style trigger and classic lower receivers, which is why I had to modify this kit a little bit on the other side, because we are actually having an ambidextrous mag release, and so I had to kind of like file a little bit of plastic out of this kit to make it fit.
I really want to know how the trigger feels like. Can I?
Yes,
like
sure.
that's just the very first thing I want to know.
It's not as like soft or mushy as you would think.
It has gas inside, right?
Yes.
But no BB?
No BB.
Okay, let's feel that. Nice, good. It's good actually. Okay, the reset is kind of eh. But the brake is very nice actually.
Really hard brake, really hard sudden reset also. But the wall that you hit is quite nice actually. I think for a Bullpup, it's one of the better systems because
Absolutely.
The reload is really simple. So you have this little lever here, which connects to the mag release on the other side and basically pushes this.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So it's still ambi actually.
Yeah. Technically, if you would open this up.
Yeah. But it's ambi anyways because it's at the bottom.
Exactly. So you can just reload this like an STG.
Yeah.
This also acts kind of like a mag well. And then if you have it loaded, you just...
Wait, but you could also mag release, if you are left shouldering it, you can mag release like this.
Yeah.
Very confusing. Bolt lock back! Where's my mag?
I think the reload mechanism for a Bullpup is really nice. It's held by the sandwich. Then you have a screw in here that is in the kit that goes into where the pistol grip would be.
Yeah.
And there's another set of screws that is attached to either the M-lock or the Picatinny that is on the bottom of the handguard here. So in between here, do you see this one? This little lever here, basically. You could take that out. That holds the whole platform inside here.
Okay, so something mounted to the M-lock and that pin secures it.
Exactly.
A quick disassembly is not possible, right? Could you separate the upper from the lower easily?
Yes, if you wouldn't have the extended handguard that I have on it, like this is just the screw, then you could actually still remove the upper receiver from it. This was painted by me, that's why it's...
I was about to say, like the surface is different. Price point, what are we looking at here?
For the whole system or just the kit?
Maybe just a conversion, and also I would like separately the handguard. If that's an add-on, right?
Yeah, that's an add-on, but I bought the whole set basically. And I think with import and taxes, it brought me up to about $380 for the kit with the handguard. The handguard comes in a gunmetal color similar to the magazines, but I wanted it to fit, that's why I painted it. And it does not come with any QD points whatsoever. So these are our QD points.
They're going to M-lock or what? It's M-lock here, M-lock
yeah, the M-locks. And so there's M-lock inside of the kit, and then I can put the QD locks of our store on it.
Okay. Man, I'm a big fan of the coloring. I like the tan, coyote, bronze, burnt bronze. Like it's beautiful.
It's also real steel parts compatible. So these are having the same dimensions as real steel, and this is actually a real steel Magpul pistol grip.
Yeah.
And you could, if you want to, change the trigger. So if you are not a fan of the plasticky trigger, you could put any M4 style trigger in that.
Actually, it doesn't feel plasticky somehow. Like now that you say it, okay, I get it. But if you would have asked me 5 minutes ago, I would have said no, that's actually a metal trigger. No, it's just well done. Yeah. It's a very nice finish.
So the safety is actually something that it might be in some countries not be field legal because you have to have the gun basically always on semi to be able to shoot it. And then you have this extended safety, which is just a trigger lock for this cantilever mechanism that it doesn't work.
But it's fine, right? Because I cannot get my finger into the original trigger anyways. So it's safe in a way?
It's safe, yeah. And inside here, there's like a little screw that you can put the tension onto the trigger also, because when you assemble it, I would actually recommend assembling it not being closed, that you have to, so you put the gun into the one side of the shell, and then you adjust the tension on the trigger, because the trigger release otherwise will be a problem, because every GBBR has a different type of trigger release.
Oh, okay.
And so you can adjust that a little bit with the screw on once the release is. So otherwise you can shoot once and it will not recycle.
Lengthwise, we have here the standard SSQ4, which I would bring it into. I think this is how I would play with it. Mm-hmm. If we put that on top, and we intentionally left the suppressor on because you also have one there. Yeah, it's about the length of the stock shorter, which is 15 centimeters, I think. And that being said, you can make this one much shorter, right? Can you tell us about the handguard extensions and how short you can actually make this thing?
So you see these screws here, and basically if you take a look inside here, I don't know if it shows well on the camera yet there, you see that the handguard stops here. So if you would take this handguard off, the handguard of the gun shows, and then it would basically stop at this line, which is why it has an included little front grip. So if you only have the gun without the clamp, you can clamp it here, and it stops directly there.
Sweet.
So if you run a short handguard and the short barrel, the whole system would basically dead set stop here. And then.
But that's the long handguard, right?
That's the long handguard, yeah.
So on the short handguard, I think it would end about here actually, and you would have to be, if you don't put a muzzle there, it's one of these guns where you can put your hand in front of the muzzle. Yep. So it would be a smart idea to put at least a flash hider on it, so you don't run into these issues. We have a guy here, he plays with P90s very often, and he did, it happened to him that he just put the hand in front of the muzzle, right?
Actually true, now that you say it, it reminds me of a P90 if you have the short version on where you hold it. Because the kit then would be longer than the handguard with flash hider. But
in general, I feel like all of these modern bullpups, they kind of resemble each other. Like when you think of the Desertec MDR, or when you think of the Tavor even. Of course, there's differences, like you don't have these cutouts, but somehow they remind of each other, right?
This definitely has MDR vibes. I think I was asked 2 times, even if it was an MDR, especially because of the color and the setting.
Absolutely.
I think the handguard also makes it look like that. But once people notice that this is a M4 receiver assembly, and then they notice, wait, there's still a buffer tube in there. Then they start to like, oh, wait, what is this?
Yeah, you see them for a receiver. But from the other side, maybe it's less recognizable.
I think it's more.
It's more. No, you have the forward assist. Yeah, that forward assist is a very interesting position. How about like, I mean, I guess you don't do that, right? You don't really. Well, I guess you could.
It's
you
an
can.
S-mark, so I have it some semi-auto.
Oh, it's semi-only. Yeah. But, well, your select is basically here. So. But it's also not too inconvenient. Like I've seen worse selectors, honestly.
Like, if you're thinking of the AOG, you have to backtrack with the hand to reload anyways, and it's just, I think it's okay.
How do you adjust the hop up actually? Oh wow, you have to. All right, well.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I guess it's still more convenient than on most GBBRs because I can still do it too. Can I adjust it, or am I gonna throw off your?
Yeah, no. I will get our adjustment screw.
With an extension wheel, but you would have to start rambling into this. Yeah, that would be a good idea because then you can adjust it, just to show this in camera as well. The hop-up wheel basically sits here. So here I can adjust it. It's a bit finicky, but it is still toolless. I will not be able to do this with gloves though, I think. It's going to be hard.
You have to set it beforehand.
Yeah.
Interesting part about this is not only an airsoft kit. We have the airsoft version, of course. So it comes in this little box here, and it says airsoft version on it. There's a real steel version of this.
From the same company?
From the same company. I think I've seen more real steel users using it than airsoft users. And the only difference in material is actually the connection rod of the trigger. The rest of the material for the body is the same. And of course the buffer tube. But the rest of the materials are the same for the airsoft and real steel version.
To do a quick rundown, how I usually do it when we review guns. So we have a rubberized back here, which is quite nice. There's no length adjustment or anything like this,
No,
right?
but you can technically take it off. You can get other parts from the website that have like basically similar
Different
to the
slants or
SRS.
what?
Yeah. So you.
Oh, so it's just base pads, yeah. Okay.
Spacers.
Spacers. And this buffer tube comes with it, right? It's like this.
With the kit, yes, but there's different versions of it, and that's also why I choose this kit, because for our gun you don't need it because we have a
short
back,
bolt, yeah.
And for others you need a short stroke bolt system then.
True, you couldn't run this full treble.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
but then I'm surprised that they didn't make it even shorter. Like, why didn't they make it this short? Because on a half bolt, I don't need nothing here, right? The half bolt runs until about here. Maybe there's a real steel reason.
Most likely.
I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with.
Also, the length of pull is really nice in this case because otherwise you would have to have the charging handle directly in your shoulder, and this way you have a little bit of distance to your shoulder.
Oh, it is because of the charging handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the distance to the shoulder, I guess. You pull it over your shoulder actually, so it would be. Of course, but does it become more awkward? I mean, this is already mega awkward, right? I think it wouldn't really matter. I wonder why actually.
I do think that it's a reason also with what guns will fit it. Also in the airsoft market, I've seen people use the Toki Marui in it. And as far as I have seen, they always use like a specific short stroke system, and that fits directly into there.
But there's nothing in here, right? It's
For me, no. In my version, there's nothing in there.
But even in any version, there's nothing in there, right? Because half bolts always stop here, and the full bolt wouldn't work anyway. So I'm just curious why they have this even.
There is in the real steel version, like you go farther back. So the normal buffer tube is this long, and in a half buffer tube, there is actually like the travel of the spring that goes in there.
So real steel reasons.
I would say
essentially.
so.
We have here a slot. That's another M-lock, or I think it's an M-lock actually. Yeah, I think that's an M-lock.
It looks like.
So you could have a QD in the middle as well.
I would not try directly in the middle of the injection line from the connection.
It's also the wrong way. Like I would want it here this way, but interesting. Or maybe they just had the space and put it. Maybe can be a reason for it. What else do we have? So we have the mag release, which that is really interesting.
I love that you can still use it as a push button.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if they did it intentionally that it's still exposed, but it's a nice add-on.
I actually had an accident with that because when I was
when your left shoulder right, it comes down,
and then it.
Yeah, I see. It's quite a big button, and if that hangs on your plate carrier, I can see how you pressed this accidentally. Yeah, it even happens to me on just Ambi M4s, which is honestly at this point I think Ambi. I prefer my M4 actually not Ambi on the mag release. I think it happens too often that I drop my mag. Also the gearbox disassembly, like taking out the gearbox, is such a pain on Ambi guns. So I actually want the not Ambi extras.
It's a pity that it won't work with AEGs. Like there's no way to do that because this would be the space where the motor is.
Which also tells me that they had real steel in mind, right? Because for the airsoft market, you would make it AEG compatible. Absolutely, right? Yeah.
I think that it's the bigger market, for sure. What I do like also is like this little basically cheek cover for the rails, because otherwise you would have the rails poking into your.
Yeah. Man, it's a low optic.
Yeah, it's
you always use the.
No, that's why I told you I need the riser. But without it, you would actually poke your chin with. And it has like this little wing.
Yeah, the little deflector.
Exactly, to deflector of the casings.
Which also means that if you left.
It will not or should not hit your face.
No, it's kind I'm not sure about that.
I wouldn't try. But
yeah, no. You just slide it on, or how does it work?
It's rubber. You can just pull it off.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. You could also run it. I guess you could.
Now you should be able to.
Like with a face mask, I would maybe even run it like this, so I can go a bit lower. But now I have the charging handle in there. Like you can like look. Okay, get this. Reload. Put in the mag.
No.
You could reload with your chin.
True.
Oh my god, that hurts. Okay, don't do that.
If you have a quad rail handguard, you have to actually be careful here because it will not fit with the extra.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
clear.
Might be enough, depending on the quad rail, I guess. Huh?
So the Daniel Defense that I had, which is an airsoft replica, did not fit.
Yeah.
Maybe the real steel one fits. And you also have to be careful what you put on it because here it cuts already into the plastic of the pack box.
Oh yeah, got it.
For the rest of the build, because, well, of course, the normal SSQ4 standard did not fit. I modified this, but I also modified the gun. So as usual with mine, there's an extended barrel in there again.
Yeah.
Because I kind of snagged one of the SSX10 barrels.
Ah, okay.
Because they are actually fitting the SSQ4. So it's one of the longer barrels in there.
Got it.
So it's hidden again.
Could you run the HPA hose on it? I guess you could, right, if you drill it.
The thing is, the connection goes one-sided on the trigger. So if you put the hose, I think, through this system, there might be. I think with a standard HPA, maybe, because there's a hole here anyways to put the body in connection with it.
But we have to get the hose through the trigger guard
Yes.
into the...
And there's where the complete system of this mag release is, and
This sits in the trigger guard or what?
this sits in the trigger guard, exactly. So the trigger, or here, the trigger guard is here, and it sits in between. And if you have the hose here, you need to funnel through that.
So here we can kind of see it, and if you put the mags on top of each other, yeah, the shadow is still there. But yeah, it's basically in the trigger guard.
Yeah.
And this, but the line of the HPA goes through the
there.
trigger guard. So it's, maybe there's a way to do it, but it's definitely not going to be easy.
For ours, I had to remove the complete like finger guard completely, and I had to change the trigger actually because our flat.
Oh, you need a curved trigger,
Yeah,
right?
you need a curved trigger. Nico helped me get one for ours, which was really nice of him. But for other guns like Tokyo UBRs, they usually have a curved trigger, a classic trigger anyway.
Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, without it will not work. Like I tried it, flat trigger. It's not enough space for the.
Even if you Dremel something, you would go behind the trigger, right? Okay, yeah, got it. Well, all right, there you have it, guys. This is Doug's special custom build here. You got it from Red Wolf, or where do you have it from?
I ordered from SRU Precision.
Directly, I bought from Taiwan, imported it. Yeah. Very cool. Joseph saw it when Doug was coming down, and it was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And it seems like Joseph's dream gun. I know on the way out he's gonna play around with it. So yeah, if you want to build one yourself, here's some inspiration on how you can set it up. Thank you, Doug.